I coincidentally had a blind date with my rich boss. But the way it all happened still feels like a dream I can't completely explain. It all started when I signed up on a dating app. I didn't want to put my real identity there because I valued my privacy and my job, so I created a fake profile. To my surprise, my boss, though I didn't know it then, was also on that app with her own fake profile. Both of us hiding, both of us pretending. At that time, she was just another stranger to me, and I was just another stranger to her. I didn't know this stranger would later change everything about my life. We matched, and it felt so smooth. She said she was from Canada. I told her I was from Germany, but living in the US. The lies didn't matter then. What mattered was how connected we became in such a short time. At first, she didn't believe in love. She made it clear from the beginning that she was just looking for a one-time flick. But, for some reason, I didn't see her that way. I wanted to convince her that love was more than just a game, that it had depth and beauty if you embraced it. We talked for hours and days, sharing thoughts, feelings, even silly jokes. Slowly, her walls began to break. She listened to me, explained the principles of love, the sacrifices, and the respect it carried. Little by little, she began to soften. What started as a casual fling transformed into something more serious. It was shocking even for her. She found herself opening up in ways she never expected. Before long, she was sexting me, sending me pictures, even nudes. I didn't hold back either. We shared everything. She trusted me deeply, and I trusted her too. Her trust was so deep that she began sharing things I didn't expect. She told me about her finances, about her business acquaintances, about the pressures of being a successful woman. I had no idea then that she was my boss. I only saw her as this mysterious but powerful woman who was falling in love with me. Our chats became so hot and emotional that the thought of meeting became irresistible. We both agreed to take the next step. But we didn't want to meet in the US to avoid complications. Instead, we decided to make it special. She suggested Dubai, the capital of luxury, where no one would know us. I didn't have enough money for the trip, but I was determined to go. I borrowed and sacrificed just to make it work. She, on her side, had no problem funding her part. She was equal to the task. The excitement was overwhelming. I applied for leave from my company, and coincidentally, she, my boss, granted it. At the same time, she told the board about her own travel plans. Neither of us connected the dots. Neither of us suspected that we were both heading for the same destination, for the same reason, while hiding behind lies. The flight was long, my heart racing with every passing hour. I landed in Dubai with barely enough in my pocket, but full of hopes and adrenaline. She had arrived before me and was already waiting at the hotel. She texted me her room number, and the tone of her messages was so intense that my hands were trembling. She was already in the mood, ready for me, waiting like the woman I thought I knew but had never touched in real life. I will never forget what happened next. I texted her, "I want to eat you out. Tell me your room number." She sent it instantly. My heart almost exploded. I rushed through the hallways of that hotel like a man possessed. I reached her door, and it was slightly open. Without knocking, I pushed it. The room smelled of perfume and tension. She was there, on the bed, waiting, already in that sensual mood we had built online. But when her eyes met mine, she froze. I froze too. We both recognized each other instantly. My heart fell out of my chest. It was my boss. My powerful, rich boss. The woman who had granted my leave. The woman I worked under every single day. She gasped, and I couldn't move. It was like time stopped. I didn't know what to do. I dropped to my knees immediately, begging her to forgive me. I thought my career was over, my life ruined. I knew how influential she was, how respected. I couldn't even breathe properly. I wanted to disappear. But she told me to stand up and come closer. I refused at first, shaking my head, trembling all over. She insisted, her eyes soft yet commanding. Finally, I obeyed. She made me sit on the bed beside her. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. Then something I never expected happened. She admitted her own guilt. She confessed that she had been watching me in the office for a long time, admiring my intelligence, my kindness, my work ethic. She said she had prayed for a man like me, but because of the position she held over me, she couldn't make a move. Hearing her say those words shattered me. It felt unreal. She wasn't angry. She wasn't threatening to fire me. Instead, she confessed she had feelings. Out of pity, guilt, and passion, something happened that night between us. The line we thought we could never cross had been crossed, and instead of regret, it brought us closer. The next day, she looked at me not as an employee, but as a man she wanted to share life with. For me, it was overwhelming. I couldn't process it all at once. But deep down, I knew this was more than just a mistake. It was fate. We spent the rest of the vacation together in ways I can't fully describe, building memories that made Dubai unforgettable. When we returned to the US, I was still hiding our relationship, terrified of what the company might say. But she shocked me again. During a meeting, she opened up to the entire board and staff about us. She said she loved me. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe she did that. But instead of backlash, there was respect. She didn't stop there. She supported me in building my own brand from scratch. Since I was in charge of the company's cybersecurity and tech department, she gave me opportunities to expand. I began handling other roles, other brand deals, until I was no longer just her employee but her partner in life and business. Today I look back at that journey, and I see God's hand. What started as lies on a dating app turned into a love story I never imagined. We now have 2 kids together, a boy and a girl. She never used her wealth or position to control me. Instead, she raised me up, and together we built something strong. Sometimes I still think about that night in Dubai, about how close I was to losing everything out of fear. But instead, I gained everything I could ever want: love, family, success, and purpose. That is why I will never stop thanking God for crossing our paths the way He did. Life is full of strange twists, but sometimes, even mistakes lead you to the best parts of your destiny.